Thank you, of course, to the Prime Minister and indeed to Samantha Rose. Now, in the spirit of the occasion, please give the warmest possible welcome to the Leader of the House of Commons, Andrea Leadsom.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I think we should possibly introduce this as the method of beginning all of our proceedings with a resounding cheer and a few claps. It would make life a lot more cheerful in the chamber. And thank you all so much for being here. I don't think we've seen it this energetic in a while, have we? I'm delighted to be here to open this year's Youth Parliament, a fantastic opportunity for all of you, and I'm sure you will all do your regions proud today. I'd like to start by just putting the question to you, who here has ever been told young people don't really understand politics? I think quite a few of you will have been, or you're too young to be interested in politics, or you don't really know what you're talking about. Well, how patronising. Too often young people are made to feel left out or excluded from politics, and that should never be the case, and that's why it's so important that you've all bothered to take the trouble to come here today to put that right. The Youth Parliament is one of the small ways we can demonstrate that the voices of young people belong in politics, and they belong in this Parliament. Mr. Speaker has, over the years, been a great advocate for young people, and I feel just as passionately about removing barriers to politics. So I was delighted that, as Leader of the House, the motion on the order paper that went down in my name, allowing the Youth Parliament to sit, commanded cross-party support. It's that cross-party consensus that, in my role as leader, I work hard to foster whenever possible. As Parliament's representative in government, it's my job to communicate the goings-on of this chamber to the Prime Minister and to her Cabinet. That includes the various requests made and concerns raised by my opposite number, Valerie Vaz, who is also here today, I'm pleased to say, and other shadow leaders of political parties. And I'm very pleased to tell you that the cut and thrust of the daily debates in this chamber don't always reflect the sometimes very collegiate working relationship between many of us right across the different parties. And then the second part of my role, representing government in Parliament, is focused on getting the legislation through this House. So in this session, there is, of course, a big focus on getting through our Brexit bills, but of course we're also working hard to get our domestic legislation through the House too. My ambition for this Parliament, as Leader of the House, is to prove that this is a listening government. I'm determined to deliver on the will of the British people in last year's referendum, but I certainly recognise that the best way to achieve that is by listening both to the views of parliamentarians and to the views of the public, and particularly to the views of young people who will have their lives so changed by the fact that most of their adult life will be spent outside of the European Union. The process of legislation for Brexit can be a positive one that proves we are capable of working together and putting the country above all else. In many ways, we can learn more from the Youth Parliament than you can from us. Your green benches are more diverse than ours, with a better gender balance and representatives from a wider range of ethnic and religious backgrounds. And we can learn so much from the priorities you have identified for today's debate. They're not just the issues that impact on young people, but right across society. Improving our transport systems, work experience hubs, a great idea which I'm looking forward to hearing much more about. And, of course, continually striving to improve LGBT rights. So I really hope you get a lot out of today. I know we will. I'm looking forward to reading Hansard and hearing your views on these important subjects. And finally, I hope you will carry on proving that young people aren't just interested in politics, they are very much a part of politics. Thank you.